Assalamu alaikum. It's me Sunila and I am the student of English department 4th semester, and in this video I am going to discuss about parts of speech in Arabic language. So first of all, what is parts of speech and why it's important in any language? So the parts of speech are the basic categories of words in a language based on their function, meaning and usage. It is important to understand sentence structure, vocabulary, tenses. By understanding parts of speech, we can better comprehend and utilize language, enhancing our communication, writing, and analytical skills. Now, the parts of speech in Arabic language. So, in Arabic language, the parts of speech are traditionally classified into three main categories, which are nouns, verbs, and particles. In Arabic language, it's called ism, fail, and huruf. We will further discuss it. So the first category is noun, which is called isma or ism in Arabic language. Noun refers to a place, thing, or idea. For example, kutub, which means book; madrasa, which means schools; name of any person, for example, Muhammad, Fatima. In Arabic language, noun can be proper or common, and they can be definite or indefinite. Also, noun covers pronouns or adjectives in Arabic language. Now the next is proper noun. So in Arabic it's called alam. Proper nouns are the name of specific place, person, or anything. For example, the name of any specific person, for example, Muhammad, Fatima. The name of any place, for example, Egypt and Medina Munawwara. Further examples are name of months and days like Rabi, Ramadan, Jummah. Also the names of any tribes and families, for example Hashim and Quraysh. These all are proper nouns, means proper nouns are the names of any specific entity. The next is common noun. In Arabic it's called isme am. Basically, common noun is a word that refers to a general category of things. For example, kitab means book, bait means house. In short, common noun refers to a general name for a class or group. Now the next is pronoun, which is called zamair in Arabic. So usually pronouns are the words that use in place of nouns. In Arabic, some examples are ana, which means I, and next example is who, which means he. Now the next is adjectives, which is called sift in Arabic. Usually adjectives are the words that describe or modify nouns. For example, in Arabic there are some examples. For example, al baytul kabir, which means the big house; al kitab al hasan, which means the good book. Usually in Arabic, adjectives typically come after the nouns they modify. Okay, so possessive pronoun. Usually it's called zamairul malkiya in Arabic. Those pronouns which shows possessions, means the pronouns which show ownership. For example, in Arabic, kitabi means my book, kitabuhu means his book, kitabuha means her books, kitabukum means your book. These all words shows ownership. The next is interrogative nouns, which is called asmaul istifham in Arabic. These nouns are used to ask questions. For example, man, which means who; maza means what; aina means where; mata means when. These all are interrogative nouns. There are a lot of words in Arabic that use for ask questions. The next is relative pronouns. Usually it's called asmaul mausul in Arabic. Those pronouns that relate closest to noun. In simple words, relative pronouns are used to connect a dependent clause to a noun in the main clause. For example, alladhi. Next category is verb, which is called af'al in Arabic language. Verbs are the essential part of the language and play an important role in forming sentence. Verbs convey actions, occurrences, or states of being through a well-defined root-based system. For example, yaktubu, which means he writes. There are some aspects of words in Arabic language: perfect verb, imperfect verb, imperative verbs. Perfect verb indicates a completed actions in the past. For example, kataba, he wrote; katabat, she wrote. Imperfect verb indicates an ongoing or repeated actions in the present or future. For example, yaktubu, he writes. Taktub means she writes. Imperative words used for commands or instructions. For example, write, which is called uktub in Arabic language. Now the next category is particle, which is called huruf in Arabic language, and it plays important role in connecting words and sentences. For example, fi, which means in, wa, which means and, ila, which means to. These all are particles and also connecting words. In Arabic, particles covers preposition and conjunctions. So the first we describe prepositions. In Arabic, preposition link nouns, pronouns, and phrases to other words in a sentence. For example, in, which is called fi in Arabic language, on, which is called ala in Arabic language, from, which is called min in Arabic language. The next category is conjunction. So conjunction connect words, phrases, clauses, and sentences. They help in forming compounds and complex sentences. For example, wa, which means and, hata means until, wa, which means or. U, which means or. These categories helps in understanding the structure and grammar of Arabic sentences. Now the comparison of parts of speech in English and Arabic language. English classifies its words into 8 categories, which is noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection, while Arabic language classifies its word into 3 parts of speech, which is noun, verb, and particle. Arabic language can classify adjectives and adverbs as nouns, but English cannot do the same. In Arabic language, adjectives and adverbs behave exactly like nouns, while in English language, adjectives and adverbs do not behave like nouns. Nouns in English can be pluralized, but adjectives and adverbs cannot.